TYT Sports, everybody. Ben Mankiewicz here with Drew Carter, J.R. Jackson. Drew, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, so 3 undefeated teams in the NFL, and I thought most after 3 weeks, and I think everybody saw that it would be that the Bengals and the Cardinals would be 2 of them. Have you think the Bengals and the Cardinals? This is worth looking at. Good people at the Elias Sports Bureau, if they still exist. Have the Bengals and the Cardinals ever been 3-0 at the same time? Like, it's possible that's never happened because those teams haven't been 3-0 a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and they have
the same year.
At the same time. No,
so first of all, and then we throw in Philly, but Philly's 3-0 is, first of all, they had 2 gimmies essentially. When you looked at the schedule, I'm surprised Washington gave them that much of a game. Kirk Cousins, 427 yards passing, but they opened with Jacksonville, a win and a win at home against Washington in week 3. In between, they did have a really nice win against Indianapolis in Indianapolis, but as we talked about last week, a terrible interception by Luck on a ball that really clearly should have been called at the either pass interference or illegal contact would have prevented that. Colts would have gone up 2 scores and they probably would have won that game. Still, the Eagles won the 4th quarter in that game, so their 3-0 doesn't really surprise me because they're good. But the Bengals and Cardinals is surprising, although the Cardinals are now 10-2 in their last 12 games. Bruce Arians.
That's what everyone keeps forgetting, and I think the Cardinals are in the best position. They have the opposite perception that the 49ers have. We were talking about the 49ers earlier, how disappointing they've been. Everyone is like, 49ers. Oh my God, you know, khaki pants coach and Kaepernick running and throwing guy. Kaepernick's a great quarterback. You know, he has an arm. He looks good. Everybody looks so smooth and in line with the 49ers. No one is thinking about the Cardinals, and I think that is the best position to always be in. Is to be flying under the radar, and people come in and go, oh, it's the Cardinals. What?
But now, that's the thing. Now they start getting some pub and start getting the news about them, and you have to see how they handle like the press and how they handle the pressure now. Because now it's not like, oh, it's just going to be a gimme game. So all of a sudden, teams kind of start getting up for teams, teams like that. So, and I also think the Cardinals have definitely surprised me, especially the stuff they've been going through the past 2 weeks with all the, with the disciplinary acts, with everything, with the domestic violence and stuff, and they've been handled it, and they're still 3-0. You can usually see some teams go in the tank after that.
Yeah, by the 7th or 8th time the NFL has a domestic violence case, they apparently know how to handle it. Jonathan Dwyer was the wrong end to get the peculiar NFL leniency. By the way, 2 of those teams, Cardinals, Bengals, off next week, along with the Browns, Broncos, Seahawks, and Rams. So the NFL down to 26 teams next week.
Does that help? I always want to refer these questions to someone who's played. Is there a better time to have a bye week? Because I feel like those kind of throw off rhythm sometimes.
I always felt like middle of the schedule is always better.
Like
early,
7 to 10,
because early you're like, oh, we're done, no more breaks till the end of the season. So you're like a long haul, but honestly, it always helps with. It depends on injuries too. If they have a lot of injuries right now, it's like thank God for a bye week because maybe guys will come healthy.
The Cardinals, I mean, look, as great as Drew Stanton has been, the Cardinals would like to have Carson Palmer back playing. So for them, it comes at a really nice time. Yeah. Also, just for confidence building for teams that even though they won 10 games last year, missed the playoffs. Nice, I think, to be in a situation where you get to sort of bask in your glory of success for a little bit. Like they are going to finish September undefeated. They're going to be 3-0 and a chance to get Carson Palmer back. I think that helps them. The Bengals are rolling, and I imagine do not want a day off yet.
No. Yeah, definitely. Like you said, with the Cardinals, the confidence building. When you have that, you're already 3-0. You have the bye week, but then you come into practice. Everybody's energetic, everybody's happy and fresh, and everybody wants to get ready for the next game because they feel better. So it could help. It could also help. It also hurt. You never know, but.
The Bengals have been chastised here on this show by me and by others for a long time for having incompetent ownership. Really only the Raiders and Washington saved them from being sort of the worst owners in the NFL. But I got to tell you, this is where they deserve some praise. And they may well be conducting things differently in these last 10 years. But it just shows, like, don't panic. And there is something to be said for consistency of coaching. Yeah. Like, if you're in Cincinnati, look, man, you're not going to compete for the Super Bowl every year. But they go to the playoffs most years, and if they let things sort of coalesce and things come together, then you know what? Once every 6 or 7 years, you might have an elite team. And it helps to have the consistency of a coach. And that Marvin Lewis has been there. He can clearly coach in this league. And I think it's helped them. And this year they're doing it having lost their defensive coordinator, who everybody liked, Mike Zimmer, to the Vikings, and their offensive coordinator, who seemed to me to be not ready for prime time in any way to Washington. But that said, Jay Gruden, the last couple of weeks, Washington has looked competent. So those are the three undefeated teams, and two of them obviously a pretty big surprise to most people.